All right. My name is Mary Cole with Good Story Company. I've had a location change. This is my living room. I have my children here. Productivity and creativity tips for writers to sort of motivate you and try and keep you safe and sane during this entire thing. We have just gotten shelter-in-place orders here in Minnesota, and so that means this thing ain't ending anytime soon. So I wanted to give you a little bit of motivation today to maybe do some of the other things that you've been neglecting. So maybe your creativity for your main project isn't necessarily flowing right now because a lot of distractions. You hear a baby, that's my baby. Hi, my baby. You hear a preschooler, that's my preschooler. Um, he's doing ABC Mouse and the baby is eating snacks. So a lot of distractions, a lot of things going on right now. So what haven't you done that you have been putting off in your writing to-do list? Now, what I wanted to talk about specifically today was agent research. A lot of the time when I see clients as a freelance editor, people who are working on their manuscripts, they have spent probably years working on their manuscripts, and then it's time to submit. They get so excited to submit that they really neglect pretty drastically their submission prep, which is their agent research, any other kind of putting together materials that they need to be doing. And this is something that has always mystified me because I think you've spent years working on your novel potentially, and then you spend a couple of minutes putting together your submission prep, and the two just have never squared for me. So I would highly recommend that. I would highly recommend putting as much time into your submission prep and the diligence of your submission prep as you do into your craft and you're working on the manuscript itself. Theodore incoming. So Theo, you can watch yourself. This is Theodore. Theodore just turned 4 last month. He probably had one of the last birthday parties that kids got to have with actual people at them before the whole lockdown. So the diligence of your submission prep is something that a lot of people tend to neglect because by the time you finish your revision, by the time you're done, you just want to be done. You want to get out the door. Well, if you don't have a functional submission list or submission research that you've already done, at that point, you're going to be rushing through it. You're going to be you have your eyes on the prize and you don't necessarily want to go back and do a really good job researching potential agents, potential markets. So maybe if you don't have the focus to dig really deeply into your novel right now, your manuscript, your helicopter, maybe you can do these kind of more digestible bites of work right now as your lives are sort of turned upside down. And what might that look like? That might look like submission prep. So one resource that I recommend over and over to everybody, I get no financial kickback from it, Theodore. It's still a helicopter. I get no financial interest in recommending this, but I think it's just hands down the best resource for what is actually going on in the publishing industry right now, which is publishersmarketplace.com. My love. Can you go to your tablet? Okay. Which is publishersmarketplace.com. It is a deals database, the most comprehensive in the industry. It's what agents and publishing professionals are using themselves every day just to see what deals get posted, just to see what the competition is doing, what their peers are doing. It's sort of like a gossip rag for the people in the marketplace to see what's selling right now, to which editors, which agents are doing the sales, which categories. Publishers Marketplace is broken up by category. It is a paid resource. We got 7 souls in the house right now, including 3 pets. Girls. So it costs $25 a month. Girls, go downstairs. At least they listen. it costs $25 a month to get access to this resource, and you can do all of your research in a condensed time, and then nobody's saying that you have to maintain your membership to Publishers Marketplace. You can sort of get in, get the information that you need, and then get out. Now, what is the information that you need from there? Well, I would say insights into what your agents are selling right now. That is what's crucial. So there is a great Publishers Marketplace is a database, right? The great functionality of it is that you can search by top deal makers, which I love. So you can go in there and select top deal makers picture book, top deal makers middle grade, top deal makers nonfiction cookbooks. It's very, very granular by category. And so then it spits out a list for you of all the people within the last 6 months or what other search parameters you're putting in there that have made the most deals in those categories, who they've sold to, what houses they've sold to. Are they only working with small presses, or have they gone to really big houses for their sales? And so you can start to see kind of, oh, I'm seeing Folio, I'm seeing Folio, I'm seeing Foundry, I'm seeing Folio again. Wow, Folio must be a really good agency for the type of project that I write. And then maybe you check out which agents sort of come up on this top deal makers list. And you can also check out the website for the agency and really start zeroing in that way. Because one of my top considerations for when you're in the submission process, you're trying to find a literary agent, is, are they actually selling? That's their job, to sell books. It's not to validate you, though they do that. It's not to help you with career advice necessarily at the beginning, because you don't have a career just yet if you're just getting an agent. All of those things will come later down the road. Their job for now, for you, is to sell. And so I want to know, are those agents selling anything? And what are they selling? Who are they selling it to? And so searching by top deal makers is one of my favorite things to do when I sort of want to look at what the industry is doing, who is very active by category. Start with those people, because they're going to be busier. They are going to have more competitive client lists, but at least you know that when the rubber meets the road, they're not just hanging out their shingles and calling themselves a literary agent. They're actually out there making deals on a daily basis. So searching by top deal makers is a really good use of the Publishers Marketplace database. The other really good use of the database is just to see what the industry is doing. You can also search by keywords. For example, you're writing a mermaid book. And so you can search by mermaid and you can figure out, there have been some deals. Maybe I will approach this agent who seems to have sold a mermaid book. The only sort of advice there would be that you don't want to, they're not going to want to cannibalize their own list. And so you don't necessarily want to approach an agent who has done a deal that sounds very much like your project, because they're going to say, hey, I love that you thought of me for this, but I already have this project. And, their loyalty is going to be to their existing client. So Publishers Marketplace, $25 a month. You can search by top deal makers. You can see exactly what publishing is doing right now in terms of when deals are posted. That is a fantastic resource, because a lot of the time, by the time we see a book out on the shelves, that deal was done about 2 years ago, maybe even more time. So you can see exactly what the industry is doing today. Join for a month while you're here. Get a bunch of the information that you need, the top agents, the top agencies that seem to be trafficking actively in your category. And then you have the bones of your submission list right there, all done for you. Other resources that I really recommend for submission research would be Manuscript Wishlist. It's a Twitter tag, MSWL. I had to think that one through a little bit. But there's also a website, manuscriptwishlist.com. There are also searchable agent databases like Query Tracker. And those are other ways for putting together your submission lists and for seeing what everybody is selling. Manuscript Wishlist is a really interesting one if you haven't heard of it already, because there you get to see what people are actively tweeting about. It's mostly Twitter. A lot of publishing is on Twitter, tweeting about in terms of what they want. So if somebody's like, I really want a mermaid book, and then they tag hashtag Manuscript Wishlist, MSWL, Then, if you're following the manuscript wishlist hashtag, you can see live and right in front of you what people in the industry are actually looking for. Like we see call outs like, I would love to find a diverse book featuring a Korean American character. And you're like, oh my gosh, that sounds like me. Then you can personalize your query letter to that agent and say, hey, I saw a manuscript wish list. It happens all the time. It goes into query letters as personalization then. So if you are having concentration problems because your life and your work are now the same thing, maybe putting together an agent submission list and doing your due submission diligence and research is something digestible and something within reach that you can do right now. So this has been a hectic 14 days of creativity and productivity tips for writers. I apologize for the family setting. My name is Mary Cole with Good Story Company, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks so much for tuning in. Bye.